Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the studio. We've got a lot of projects going on, almost too much. I had full intentions tonight of painting the body for the Vanquish, but something came up. We're actually going racing this weekend, and we're going to pull the old 8-second truck out of retirement. I'm going to try to run the same tires that were on it in 2019. They are BSR caps specs. I'm going to clean them up, try to soften them up a little bit. I think they'll be fine after a few laps. We may put a fresh body on it. That's probably what we're going to do. We're going to put a body on it so we can have something to advertise the channel. And yeah, if you hadn't checked out last week's video, we did the dueling Earnhardt bodies. Mine's got a number 2, not quite Earnhardt. If you hadn't seen that, check it out. And we still have the interior. We have a Bowlink interior we're going to do on the Monte Carlo body. On this one. We're going to do the full interior in. It's a Lexan. We got to paint it on both sides. We got to paint it red, and then we'll do all the detail work on the outside of it. And still got to source some contingency decals and just a few little details, and we're going to trim it up and all that good stuff. So stay tuned for that. May not do a full video of that. Probably just bring it in and introduce it right before we ship it back out to David. What else is going on? We went by Anderson RC tonight, picked up. And true to Maya fashion, we needed some body posts. You got to buy this entire parts tree with A-arms and bumpers and everything else, but the body posts are in there. So that's to run this body on the TTO too next time we run, because my body posts are a little bit short in the back. Let me grab the camera and we'll turn it around. We got a few more items come in, so we'll go over that before we dig into this thing. Quick little update on the Lunchbox project. We got parts rolling in from UK Monsters. I believe he got all of their options except for 2 that were out of stock. That would be the most important one right there, that front end conversion kit. Went with the GPM shocks because GPM is the only one that makes a aluminum shock mount. It's not some kind of little crimped over piece of metal. So we may not run those shocks, but at least we're going to use the shock mounts. And still got to get a bearing kit and decide on a paint job. That will be painted with automotive paint. I'll have to take that to work. And on top of that, fresh from the UK, we got a 12 scale. We got to build that. Oh, the car's built. It's the Pro Competition Racer. If you get the Competition Racer, they come built. But you do have to add your electronics, wheels, tires, body. And we do have a Mini Cooper body for that. And we got another one of these. And we're going to attempt to get this S10 body on there. This is a repop of a Bowlink S10 or like a Jammin' Jimmy. I need to make sure that fits before we get too far gone, just in case we got to come up with an alternative, because that truck will be at Mini Nats along with my Toyota. And we got it modified for my old boss. Mr. Steve has donated. Well, he didn't donate his car, but we're going to do a build on that. We're going to paint it like a local racer. And we'll be unboxing that soon and painting it. So much going on and not enough time to do it. So why not try to rebuild your old car while you got all this other stuff going on? Try to go racing again. All right, I got distracted. I had to test fit the Blazer body before we got too deep into the other project, because I need to let him know something so he can order a body. But I think we're going to be okay. We had to do similar modifications that we did on our truck. If you hadn't seen that video, check it out. Just had to remove the fuel tank and then the front bumper. I didn't cut as much off of his on the front. Let's get this out of the way. I will clean it up some more. On mine, I cut all of this off and just have the body mounted across here with Velcro. And we'll do a similar body mount. We may use the magnets. On the rear of this one, we're not going to have to do the modification that we did on that rear suspension because we don't have a bed to deal with. We got a Blazer, so we got a full cab. And he has the 26s ordered for it. Now, if his frame will still lay out on the 26s, we're going to be good to go. This thing looks pretty cool. We'll be dragging at Maggie Valley 2 months. So anyways, let's get back on the race car. We got to go racing. All right. Sorry about that little lowrider interlude there, but we had to We're running out of time for option B on the body because there's not a lot of mini truck bodies available that are a decent quality. If you're interested in that, let me find it. If you're interested in that Blazer body, it is an RJ Speed, and it's a recreation or a reproduction. It is the Jammin' Jimmy. There's your number, and you can probably find that at Mudslide or Hyperdrive, whoever owns RJ Speed now. They carry the RJ Speed stuff, so hopefully they have that in stock. They make an S10, but the S10 looks a little funny. It's made more or less like an off-road truck. It has a molded-in push bar in the front, and you can't really do nothing about it. If you go back and look at our patina plastic, the black S10 video, that's the S10 from RJ Speed. Still looks cool, but it just has that bump in the front. You can't do nothing about it. But this one has kind of the OG flares and stuff. I'm not a big fan of that, but I think it's going to look cool when it's all said and done. Options are slim on mini truck bodies, so if anybody's listening out there in the RC world, please make us a Nissan, a Mazda, and another Toyota. That would be awesome. Even an S10, a round body, or I'd like to have both. I'd like to have a round body because I had one. Even though they're the most generic mini truck on the planet, I would love to have one. We're going to throw another Next Oval Body on here. Car is quite rough. It's been rode hard and put up dirty. We ran it last in 2019. We won the last race at King with it in the breakout truck. Oh yeah, that's going to be a good fit. We've got plenty of room in the back. These body posts are not adjustable outwards anymore. They're as wide as they can go, and they only go in. If they go in, it's going to make it worse because it's going to be under the roll bar and it'll never work. We're in the furthest out position, so I think we're going to be okay. All right, guys, we got some body posts. Got the big old stacks on there. Repurposed the lowrider bumper. Took that off, ground it down so you can see my sweet little Parma sticker there. Anyways, we're going to chop these down. I got the body sitting at the height I wanted it. I don't trust these little collets, so I ran a drill bit through right underneath it and put a tiny body pin underneath all of these adjusters just to hold the body up just in case. Because if you do get in a little bump up, sometimes these things will slide. Other than that, I'm getting ready to chop all this off. We got it set at right height. Once we get this chopped off, we'll set the body on. We'll do our wheel openings and get it cut out. All right, we got the body on there. We got it secured. We got the cut line for rubber tire just below the chassis. So we should be good on ride height. I haven't trimmed the bottom. I did cut the flashing off, or whatever you want to call it, the remaining, just to get the sides flat. We'll use our trusty old 2.2 Yokomo wheel, and we'll lay that up there and trace around it and get our circles. Pretty simple process. Just kind of line it. Since you got the big hole in the center of the wheel right there, you can line it up with the diff nut. I like to go just slightly behind it, so push it back a little bit. And there's our perfect wheel opening. It ain't perfect yet. You still got to cut it out, but at least you got a line to follow. All right, we got the body all washed up, trimmed up, and we got the window mask installed. This is the mask that comes with the body. Fits really well, and we used our 3M painter's tape in the bed. For this paint job, we're going really simple since we are on a time crunch. I still got to work on the chassis. I'm not going to really do anything on the chassis in this video. I'm going to have to do that the next 2 nights to get it ready for the race Saturday. But anyways, we're going to do some old school techniques here. And let's see, last week we did it for Dale, and this week we're going to do it for Kale. We're going to do a throwback paint scheme. We're going to cut the 9 off. Will be number 2. And we're going to use up these decals. I hope you don't hate me for using them. But they've been in my box for 20 years. So MCI, if you want to make some, I'm sure MCI will make you some. So anyways, we're going to lay this thing out. Pretty simple paint scheme. It's just kind of V in the front. And the nose is fluorescent orange. The body's white. And then start sticking some stickers on. All right, again, super simple paint job. We just kind of reference the center point, and that way when it crosses over, we'll make our little V in the hood. All right, where it crosses over right there, there's our point. It's pretty much centered. It's centered enough. How's that? Close enough for a quick paint job. Nothing has to line up perfect with this point. It just needs to not look kind of odd. If it's off too far off to one side, it might look a little weird. Let's clean our mark off. Use our grease pencil. Right there, super simple. You can just wipe it off if you don't like it. There's our center point. That leaves us a lot of orange in the front, and we want it bright because this is an outdoor track, and we want it to look good out there. So, all right, we're all masked up. Kind of fancy, ain't it? Just a piece of paper over it, masking paper. I am using an airbrush for this. The only reason why is because I have the paint. I am going to spray paint the white. So we're going to show you can mix water and spray paint together, or we won't if it messes up. Typical fluorescent paint, put it on light, several coats, as much as you think it needs. Sometimes 3, sometimes 4, sometimes less, but usually at least 3 or 4 coats. Very light between coats. Get it dry between coats because you can't just pile it on. And still got some dust in here from where I painted that or sanded that bumper. We don't want black flakes in our fluorescent orange. It will look terrible. All right, let's proceed with caution. All right, that's enough for one coat. So as you can tell, it's super light. You can see through everything. And we'll get this dry, and then we'll add another one. All right, we got all of our orange in there. We got it dried up pretty good. And I ended up putting 5 coats on there. Just wanted to make sure it was even. And because orange can be tricky, and you can have light spots in it. So now we're going to carefully untape it. We did have one little blow through. Not a big issue. We're going to take our little stick that I show in every video, a little cuticle cleaner that you get from your health and beauty aisle, and we'll clean this edge. We got a little bit of fuzzy edge right there. My finger's looking weird. Yeah, right there we got a little fuzzy edge. We'll clean that off, and then we'll commence to spray in our white. All right, we got that all cleaned up. Simply just take the little stick in there and a little rubby rub, cleans it right off. All right, we got our PS1 Tamiya. If you're going to use spray paint over water, make sure it is completely dry. I did take a paper towel and some alcohol and wipe the inside of the body down to make sure I didn't have any more orange overspray from the dust from the front end, just in case it got around the paper. I think we got it all, so there goes nothing. All right, I'm going to go with the same principles as I did with the white. With the cooler temperatures in here, we're going to take our time, put several light coats. That's one coat. It'll probably take 3. And once we get that on there, we'll pop back on here and we'll start spraying the bed. All right, we got all of our white on there. It took about 3 coats. I went ahead and peeled off what we're going to spray black. The bed, passenger window, and the windshield. We're going to leave this window empty because it's usually open and we got a window net to put in it. I did back the white slightly with 1 coat of the PS16 silver, just to give me some reassurance when I spray my black over it that it doesn't show the black through and any kind of blotches. So we didn't use the Traxxas silver because the Traxxas silver is super. It's like basically like spraying metallics or pearls. There's really no solids to it. This right here covers pretty decent. So let's get the black on there, and then we are done painting. Then we can commence the stickers. There we go. Let me get one more coat of this on, and then we'll do an unveil of sorts. All right, that was a super fast paint job. But even with the simplest of paint schemes, it's always the most satisfying part of the job is peeling this film off. and revealing your work, even when it's something simple as basically a two-tone here. Let's make this as difficult as possible. Two more spots. And boom. There's our paint job. Not too bad for just a two-color wonder. We don't count the black. That's accent colors. But yeah, basically 3 cans of paint, or 4 cans with counting the silver to back up the white, just to be safe. There you go. That is water paint with spray paint over it. No wrinkles, no nothing. So it does work in a pinch if you have to do it. If you want to back up your water paint with some spray paint, you can. Just make sure, like your final product, just make sure it's completely dry before you do that, just to be safe, because you don't want to trap any water underneath the solvent, and vice versa. You don't want to try to put water over the solvent with the paint still wet. It will cause problems. But anyways, let's commence to putting some stickers on and really reveal this thing. All right, whoever had these things on eBay, they glued it to this sheet, and then it was Velcroed to something. I'm wondering if it was a display. Could have been, because the label's on it, and it's stapled to a card, and it's glued to the card. So hope we're not messing up too much history here, but technology today, you can make this stuff all day long. All right, we got our numbers on. Got our grill and headlights in. Next Oval Bodies do come with 2 sets of grills and headlights. One looks Toyota-esque, and the other looks kind of Fordish. But we did a mix match, and we did the Ford lights and the Toyota grill. I like the way that looks. And my other body, we did the all with the matching grill and lights in it. But anyways, decals are very old, obviously, because they are they still have some adhesion. They seem like they're going to be okay, but they do seem to be a little brittle. They must not have been kept in any kind of sunlight, because they are kind of a fluorescent color, and if they were exposed to any kind of UV light, that would have been faded out. But anyway, so far so good. I'm putting the number on as one piece and then coming back and trimming it afterwards, because just to make it more durable, putting it on as a square versus a number 2 shape makes sense to put it on as one piece and then trim around to get the yellow clear that's kind of faded into yellow. And every time I set this body down, that black foam dust is attracted to it. But anyways, we're going to throw the quarter logos on and the hood logo, and that'll be about it for this one. So let's get the chopping these up. All right, guys, here's Unveil 2.0. This is all the decals that we're going to use off the sheet. We are going to make some vinyl logos for the bed, and the track that we're running at allows you to run a wing with side dams, so we'll have our logo on the wing as well. Don't hate me for using these decals up, because they are super old, and the adhesion on them is a little bit questionable. If I was going to use these in a restoration or a shelf queen, I would probably get them reproduced, just because who knows how long these are going to stay on, and I wouldn't want to go through the effort of building something that's going to be super nice and they end up falling off or peeling off. Who knows, they might stick forever, but they did seem really weak, and all the clear stuff was turning yellow. But anyways, there we go. We're about race ready. We got to clean the car up, get a receiver in it, make sure everything works. We are racing Saturday if all goes well. Stay tuned for Sunday's video. I'm not sure if it's going to be racing, or we may throw another body in, because it's going to be a little tight this weekend, because the racing is 3 hours away. We are running 3 rounds of qualifying and a 100-lap main, and then a 3-hour drive back home, and that's Saturday. So I probably won't be home till late Saturday, so that would push it for me getting that race video done for this weekend. But who knows? I might be able to knock it out. So stay tuned. Subscribe if you haven't. Yeah, we'll see you next time. Thanks.